Hello, everybody. Welcome back to interviews. Today, we're breaking down episode 4 of Otome Kaijuu Chimeralist. Is it okay? It's Otome Kaijuu Chimeralist. I always mess up the last name, but anyway, what an amazing episode this was. This was an unexpected episode for me because okay, to be honest, I wasn't really expecting them to actually start dating because she kind of turns into a kaiju, and like for those who didn't watch the episode, not this too, but like our two main characters finally, Minami finally confessed to Kura, and she said yes, which to be honest, it was really shocking to me because I thought it would be like a slow burner where like it slowly progresses to that point where like she first kind of like tells him about like no, I thought she would tell him that she liked him while she was telling him that she is a kaiju. She just hasn't told him that she's a kaiju, but like the it's okay. It was a funny, unexpected episode filled with so many comedies. I wouldn't say we got a bunch of lore drops, but like we are getting closer to understanding what Kuro really is. Anyway, let's get into the episode. Let's get into the meat of the action and let's enjoy the relationship that we got on the first episode. Because one thing that I really love about a romance show is if there was this to confess early on. Because I'm not saying that I don't love slow burns. I like most of my favorite versus rom-com animes are slow burns, but when like you have 3 or 4 seasons of like a slow burn anime where the characters just don't like the relationship doesn't really progress much. To me it kind of like if the comedy is still there, then I'll continue watching, but like I'll forget the romance of it and just start enjoying it for like the comedy, which I feel like it's not a really good thing. Because if it's a rom-com story, you should care about the rom and the com, but like if the com is if the rom is not that good and the com you just why am I saying that? Anyway, if you just care about if the romance isn't good, then you only be caring about the comedy, and if the comedy is subpar, then you end up dropping the short. Most like that was the same thing with Winter Gorgon. I thought it was a rom com. I'm still watching it, but like what Winter Gorgon is like a shit show where like you just want to see how bad it gets. Like the production is there, but like just want to see if what the author comes up with. Like if this shit is going to go down, you just want to see the ship sink. Anyway, let's get into the episode. All right, let's get into the media of action. Today we meet a new character. His name is Hibino-kun. Um, I think I think to be honest, I feel like Hibino-kun and Mama had like a relationship because there's one scene where like he kind of hugs her from behind, and he kind of talks in a way that alludes that they dated before. Oh, and I think this is Cora's real parents. I don't know if she was like born from the egg, because my theory is she was born from an egg, but like she's a human girl and it doesn't make sense. But like I feel like this is her parents, her her father. Angola, doesn't this look like Minami? Anyway, we kind of find out that what's this? Mama was a scientist, which I wasn't really surprised because I kind of had suspicion that she was a scientist, or maybe she was like I okay. My main thing was like I thought she was maybe a tomb raider, someone who like found an egg during an excavation, and raised it. But like, being a biologist doesn't also makes a lot more sense than being a tomb raider. Anyway, she was a former scientist. I feel like once she got Kuro, I feel like she dropped the whole like scientist shtick because she didn't want to put like Kuro's actual life in danger, because all know scientists they'll do a bunch of experiments on her, which I feel like she wasn't really comfortable with her daughter being going through all that experiments. Because there was a scene in the episode where like Hibini knows Kuro has a condition where she transforms, but she doesn't know that Kuro can transform into the kaiju. So what's this? Mama tells Kuro to do not make to make sure that Hibini doesn't know that she turns into the kaiju. Yeah, like does like I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but like maybe they were just written, but like I feel like this is Kuro's, but like it doesn't make sense. Okay, I'm not saying Kuro is adopted, which I am saying, but like her mother has pink b- blondish hair and pink. It's like a brown pink, but and then this guy's blonde, and Kuro came out with like black hair. Like the sense is not making, but like you can chalk it up to being Kuro being like half kaiju. So like okay, watch this is purpose. So anyway, Hibini came from like East Africa, and the reason he's here in Japan is because of the kaiju situation. Because a random kaiju just spawned in your country, of course you go check it out. He's in America. He's in Japan. No, he's in Japan for a few weeks. I think that's what was his episode. That's what he said. So he's in was his the country for a few weeks, probably searching for Haragon, and trying to understand why you know what's happening, because like I said, a kaiju just appeared randomly in your house, in your home country, and you know, military forces can't even do anything. And like, isn't that like? I feel like it's more suspicious because the kaiju appears out of nowhere and disappears again. Like it leaves no traces. So like, you gotta like enlist some of your best people to, like actually help you get to this. See, like I said, how about teaming up? How about teaming up with me together, just like in the good old days? These two dated, like the way was his Hibini was like holding her, like it eludes the dating. And there was another part in the episode where I'll show you right away, where she kind of says probably because while he was hugging her, he was flirting, and his phone rang, and she kind of says like it's probably some women, which alludes that he's a playboy, and I feel like they dated, and I feel like she broke up with him because he was too much of a playboy. And like I feel like he's trying to get back together because like you're single too, and like you know I feel like I feel like he wants to get back in the relationship, but like he's too much of a playboy to actually be committed to like a single relationship. It doesn't like a stark difference between I don't want to say between the two of them. Like they were they're probably friends. Then they dated, and then they broke up. But like they're still staying in touch, probably because of Kuro's condition, or maybe like they broke up on good terms. Who really knows? But like I do know they still dated and they did break up. And like no matter what, I can hate the guy because he is a Kuro fan, and any fan of Kuro is a friend of mine. Like Kuro is the best thing that has ever happened to this world. She is Her cuteness level is really maxed out, to be honest. Anyway, like I was saying, a major Kuro fan. So like, even though he has like some qualms I hate about him, he's a playboy. Like he played with Mama's heart, so like I can like him for that. But, like he's a Kuro fan, and as a fan of Kuro myself, like you gotta look past those things, like just appreciate someone for what they are. Anyway, now let's talk about the interaction between Kuro and Hibine. Hmm, the interaction is really awesome because he acts like an uncle to Kuro, and Kuro is like the spoiledness because he gives her everything she wants. Because immediately as he got into what's this Japan, he like got like what's this tapes of like Kuro's favorite band and brought her to her. He even bought like 2 tickets for her to actually see them live performing, which Kuro kind of talks about in the episode, where it's like a regular thing where when he comes they kind of go to like a concert, which like I said, it alludes to like him actually spoiling her. I like Okay, the one thing that really confused me is he knows about Kuro's condition, how she transforms, but like, how doesn't he put the pin in the head where like when you figure it out, like if Kuro transforms and like a sudden kaiju just appeared, like isn't that alluding to something? Or are there more cases like Kuro where like he can't really put like a nail on the head? Maybe I don't know. Maybe like there are like many cases of Kuro because I'm not saying he's not shocked because I don't know, we don't know his reaction when he first heard of it, because the only thing we know is the present time. We don't know, maybe he was shocked, maybe there are like other cases like Kuro who like transforms into kaiju. That's a part we don't know. We don't even know what happened to Kuro. We just know like one day in like, I don't know, the second, the fifth grade, she confessed her love, and boom, she turned into a kaiju. So we don't know, we know nothing about the condition, how this happened. I feel like Mama is hiding something. I feel like Mama knows how this happened, but like she doesn't wanna. I feel like it will get explained more in the episodes, and I feel like it will be Mama who like explains it to us. And here is another funny Kuro. Like I said, he's a Kuro fan, so like you gotta enjoy it. And I don't know, Kuro is into heavy metals and sweet cakes. I've never really. I don't say I enjoy heavy metal. I've never listened to any heavy metal, so I should probably check it out. As a Kuro fan, you gotta experience her taste. I already like pancakes, so like I should probably try, like heavy metal. Yeah, I should like. I'll probably look on YouTube or maybe Spotify for like heavy metals, and but like I've listened to some of them, but like they were not my jam. But like for Kuro, I'll go above and beyond. Anyway, let's move on to the important parts of the episode. We meet our playboy Minami. We don't meet him. Okay. Now the reason Minami is here is looking for a part-time job. I feel like because before earlier this part, they were texting with what's this, Kuro, about how they enjoyed like the the Disney Wonderland. I don't know what they called it, but like it was a Disney Wonderland episode, which was last episode. So I feel like he's probably saving up money to like spend on another date, because I don't know. I my head canon is he got like a part time job so he can save up money, so like he can like take Crow on another date, and they both happen to like meet each other after rock was his at the heavy metal concert. I don't know how he got the job. He got the job really fast, like I spent like a month looking for a job, and like he was looking for a job yesterday. Maybe he has connections, who really knows? Anyway, Hebine like this part of the interaction between him and Minami was, I wouldn't say it was awkward. It was like when a father is interviewing like her girl what's his her daughter's boyfriend. So like that's how we felt, because like I said, he is like his sport. He is Kuro is like the sport niece. So like someone like Minami isn't really. It was shocking, because one thing that also shocked him, it was because she didn't tell Minami about the condition, and I feel like that made, I wouldn't say that made him distrust him a bit. It's just like he's a playboy, and like he thinks the worst of other guys, so like you can understand him, because in the episode he also tells Squirt like stay away from Minami, because like guys only like being popular with girls, like the guys only want one thing, so like he's like, I want to say he's speaking from experience, but like he doesn't know me. Like I hate Minami to the core, because he's like the perfect being right now. So like but like I feel like if he gets to know him, which in this episode he does, if he gets to know him like a bit more, like if they have more interactions, he can see like the better sides of him. But like he was acting like a father, like interviewing like what's this her daughter's boyfriend, and it was it was an awkward yet funny interaction between them. Like I was shocked. I wanted to see what would happen, because Kuro kind of interrupts, but like I wanted to see what's this what Minami would answer, because Hibino asks Minami if she's dating what's his school, and like I feel like the answer he was expecting was probably soon, or probably maybe he would mention that he likes her, but like Kuro kind of interrupts, because I feel like that's what he was waiting to hear. But like I said, Kuro it interrupts her. Yeah, like I was saying, like during like the rock concert where Kuro couldn't actually hear him, he was like busy spouting about like how men are just men just want to be popular, like they can be nice to girls they don't like to like they just want to get played. That's basically what he was like trying to tell Kura, but like the concert was playing in the background and she didn't really hear him. Okay, I know I've skipped a bunch of parts, but like I feel like I want to talk about. Do you remember from like first episode wise when we went on like that pancake pancake date? You remember I remember seeing this girl in like the poster. I thought we'd never actually see her, but like I like I didn't say it in the watch this in the review, but like I really do like her character design, and I wished I could have seen more of her. But like now actually seeing her, I really want to have more of her. Like she looks to be about like the same age as them. I hope there's like a plot point where like she's actually like a student in our school and like she also likes rock music and where they her and Kuro like actually bond over rock music and she becomes like a friend of ours. Like I feel like that's a good plot point because I feel like Kuro doesn't really have that much friends because like again with the Harugon situation I feel like she's starting off people and I feel like having her make more friends would be like a really good thing. I hope this becomes like a plot point. Anyway, here comes misunderstanding number two. Now the misunderstanding stems from one scene where Minami kind of saw like how Hibini and Kuro were like bonding because he thought Kuro was like a shy person and she didn't want to interact with people because all the date she was being very distant but like at the end she did show like she was happy but like he wanted them to enjoy it. He wanted like to see her this happy during like their date. That was the main thing that he was qualming about, which kind of led to this misunderstanding where Kuro started interpreting it as she not even liking him that much, but like I feel like everything that Kuro does in this episode in this show, I criticize it, but like I know it's for the right thing, but I'm criticizing this because Hibini is like a family member, so like if a shy person isn't like open to their family members, then I don't know what that is because like I said, this was stupid of him because he was comparing himself to like her uncle because she has known him more for like more than me. I mean, I feel like she should have been closer to him, but it's my opinion. But like, I feel like that was dumb of Minami to like actually get up. Like I know he could have gotten upset because like the main reason he got upset was she was not as having fun as she is right now with this guy. But like I feel like since he is her uncle, like it kind of negates like that part of the shyness because even a shy person, even like a socially inept person, someone who doesn't like talking would like have a somewhat close bond to like their family because you grew up with them. Like I said, that's stupid of him. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, who knows. Anyway, as Kuro is confessing like what he feels, what is Minami is telling Kuro about what he thinks was happening. Kuro kind of like tries to like explain like the reason like she is avoiding him. She wanted to tell him the truth, and that like I said, like her, I feel like her actually telling him the truth that she is Harukan will minimize the transformation because in episode was it episode 3 in episode 3 no it was episode 2 in episode 2 when she kind of like um was this embraced herself, her tail actually disappears. So I feel like if she embraces that side of her, because she thinks that that the Harugun side of her is disgusting and ugly. That's why she kind of like she's scared. I feel like once she embraces that part of her, that side of her, I feel like she would be more free. I feel like if she embraces that part of her, she wouldn't transform into Harugun as often. But anyway, she couldn't really explain it to her because she couldn't explain it to him because she was turning to Harugon, and like I said, she feels like that form of hers is really ugly, so she doesn't want to. And this kind of rubs off Minami in the wrong way again. It made him feel like he was being too forceful to her, and she ran away because of that, which he was being too forceful. Like hugging a girl out of nowhere, but man, freak your handsome face. Anyway, Kuro transforms into Harugon as expected, but the one thing that really I wouldn't say touched me in this episode is Kuro really admits that she is in love, with Minami, and that's like I said, that's a big release. That's a big step for her. I feel like her admitting her love isn't enough. I feel like her admitting her love and telling him that she is Harugon will be like the I don't know if it's like the end goal, because I feel like the end goal for us would be dating, but like we are dating right now. But I feel like there'll be drama because there'll be certain misunderstanding because, like I say, she hasn't really fully told him like she is Harugon. So like, I feel that would be like the drama that will kind of sprung up in like later parts of the episode. But let's take the dub what we have. Oh yeah, and there's a part of the episode which kind of says her heart is becoming that of a Kaijuu too. So is it like every like the longer she is in that in the Harugon form, the more she kind of like loses her humanity. If she stays in the Harugon form for like a really long time, will she become like a real Kaijuu? Like will she like stomp everything and just destroy everything? Sadko is not a very good. It's not a very good look on her. So like let's hope we never see this side of Kuro, like the sad part, because I really don't like her seeing side. Like it ruins all her cuteness. Now let's talk about the final part of the final segment of my review is Minatsu. It's like I said, she is the comedy of the entire episode. Like she's seen like Haruko on the news. She gets on her plane. She puts on her costumes. She jumps from the plane with what's this, a rope on her, just for her to like get close to Haruko, and like there was a part of the episode where she kind of like admits like if Haruko crushes her, like that would be good. Like she is, like I said, she's Haruko sexual, so like again, how would that work? Like the body size differences, like I don't know. I don't make these things up. It's just a curiosity, the cat type of thing. Just look at her, like just look at her, like I'm serious. Like if she gets like stomped by Harlequin, I feel like it would be more of a reward than a punishment. Like I feel like she would enjoy it that much, because like he was glaring at me like I was some kind of insect. Like do her, why Minatsu? Minatsu, she is the comedy of the show. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I know I didn't talk about much, but thumbs up. See you guys in the next one. Oh yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm Hunter, and I'll see you in the next one. Always gotta say the outro.